I did it. I made the video that I never wanted to make. I'm talking about money. I'm revealing my insecurities. Hi, welcome back. This is my series on tidying up my life. If we haven't met yet, my name's Megan. I am a mom, a professional counselor, a wife, and a 40-year-old who is just working on getting my life in order this year. So today is a really hard video for me to film. If you see me looking down a lot, it's because I do have notes. I am super uncomfortable talking about finances. I have always been somebody who honestly didn't have to think about money that much. I really never learned how to deal with money. I never learned how to budget. I never learned how to save or delay gratification. And I think throughout my life, stuff and getting things were those were kind of used in place of actual affection and sharing verbal words of affirmation. And so I think I've just had this tendency to want, when I feel anxiety or when I feel happy or sad or any feeling really, I just want to spend money, and I feel like I can never have enough almost. So yeah, so that's really embarrassing to say, but I'm saying it because that's the truth. And this is really important to me that I tidy up this area of my life. It's one thing to live like that when it's just me, but now I'm married. My husband and I are working on sharing our finances. We share a bank account. And I'm just noticing that it's just time. It's time. It's just time. Me spending more money and me buying more things, not only is it contributing to the physical clutter in our home, which it obviously has, as you will see throughout all of the decluttering videos that I'm going to do in the next year, but it's really just cluttering my mind, and it's affecting our finances. It's affecting our freedom. Ultimately, we get stressed when it's time to think about taking a trip to visit my husband's family in Mexico. This spring, we would really like to be able to go visit my parents in California. Like, we would love to get out of the snow and the bitter cold of the Midwest, but it's just really not financially responsible for us to go right now. So we're not. So those are the kind of things where it's just sad to think, like, if maybe I hadn't spent a little bit of money here at Target, or a little bit of money here on Amazon, and a little bit of money here at the Gap. Like, maybe if I hadn't been so impulsive with those things, we would still have enough money in savings to comfortably take a trip and not worry about it. So that's sort of the background on why, the reason why I'm doing this. And now I'm just going to talk a little bit about what my plan is and what you can expect on this channel as far as what I'm going to share, how much I'm going to share, how often I'm going to share, and all of that. So right now I am not comfortable sharing specific numbers of our finances. I will say, we should really be more than okay. There's no reason that we should be struggling with saving. There's just not. We should have more than enough to have our kids in the activities that they're in, to do some fun things, maybe eat out once in a while, and then also have some savings. Unfortunately, the way that I have been living my life, in sort of this free, do whatever I feel like in the moment. If I see it, I want it, I get it. That has led to us being in a position of having debt. I think where we both struggle is with those little things that tend to add up. So in the moment, I might be able to justify oh, my daughter needs, a couple more long sleeve t-shirts. And because she's a toddler, those long sleeve t-shirts are only like $5 at Walmart or $5 at Target. So it's like, oh, I'll throw a couple of those in my cart while I'm, out shopping for groceries or household items. Or another thing that commonly comes up for us as a family is we really like to eat out, or we like to get, takeout. But if we have one night where we want sushi, that's like over $100 for the whole family. So those things are what have added up to where we're at now and why we don't have a savings account, quite honestly. So that is the state of the family finances in the moment. What I am working on this week, my plan this week, is to do the family budget. So I have an Excel spreadsheet or a Google whatever spreadsheet, and that's what we're going to use. Over the last 5 or 6 years, I have tried a lot of different budgeting tools, and I haven't stuck with any of them. I've taken, Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University class. I have tried Mint, the app. I've tried You Need a Budget app, and that's one that I actually tried to do with my husband, and that was way overwhelming for us. Just as a couple, it wasn't something that we were both equally excited about. And I feel like if we're sharing accounts, and which we are, and we're not both willing to keep the You Need a Budget app up to date, it's really not something that's going to work, because that app requires that you are really on top of every single transaction that happens. My mom, however, loves it. That is her, she'll preach that app from the rooftop. She loves it, recommends it to everybody. So I think for a lot of people it's great, but just for us, it wasn't practical. So my plan is just to use a spreadsheet. We're just going to do that right now. I'm collecting all of our expenses. Obviously, I know what our income is. Up until a couple months ago, I was working very part-time, but I was still bringing in an extra $400 or $500 a month. That is gone now. So I think, and I haven't updated any of our budget stuff, and I haven't adjusted any of our spending since we've lost that $400 to $500 a month. So yeah, this week is really just about me getting honest with what our income is, what our expenses are that are fixed, what our debt looks like, and then looking at what we can cut. My goal in the next week is to give myself an allowance for the things we need, and then give myself an allowance for things that I want. I know some people, who are struggling with their finances. I'm thinking of one particular couple I know that their financial advisor told them, listen, you right now, if your goal is to get out of debt, you get zero. You get nothing for discretionary stuff. You're going to cook at home, you're going to eat at home, you're not going to buy any new clothes, you're not going to buy any new shoes, you're not going to buy any new gadgets. You are on a diet, you are cold turkey, nothing. I think for me, I do want to get serious about getting out of debt and building savings. However, I also know myself, and I know that if I put myself on such a strict, I can have nothing sort of financial diet, it's not going to last very long. And so I just want to set myself up for success and not say I'm not going to spend any money in January, or I'm not going to spend any money in February. It's just not realistic, but I think I can work within some boundaries. I've had a lot of success over the last 4 or 5 months with intermittent fasting. That has been the only diet that has worked for me, because if you tell me I can never eat carbs again, or I can never have gluten again, or I can never have sugar. Like, that's not going to be a long-term solution for me. So when I was able to just give myself the guideline of time, that has worked. So I'm hoping that my practice in following boundaries around time with my eating, I'm hoping that that is going to be able to translate into giving myself some boundaries around, okay, it's not that I can never buy another pair of fancy bamboo pajamas, but if that's something that makes me feel good and that's my fun money that I want to spend, then I'm going to plan for that, right? So maybe I get $50 a week for myself for fun stuff. And if Little Sleepies comes out with a print for their pajamas that I really, really like, then that's that's what I'm going to spend my fun money on for the week. But hopefully over time, if I only have that $50 or, whatever it's going to end up being after I look at the family budget, whatever my play money is, I am going to probably reassess my priorities. Like, ooh, do I buy her another pair of pajamas when she already has like a whole drawer full? Or, do I want to spend that on going out to lunch with a friend? Or do I want to spend that on, maybe a new hair product that I want to try? Or whatever it is. So I'm hoping that this will help me out. I'm hoping that I will, just really be able to take this by the reins. And I'm really hoping that tracking this progress on this channel is going to keep me accountable in a way that I've never stayed accountable and consistent before. And so overall, as I'm looking ahead to the next couple of months, my biggest goal is to build that muscle of delaying gratification for myself. I've started a note in my notes app on my phone, and it is just things that I wanted but didn't buy. So it's kind of a record of all the impulses that I've had this month that I didn't follow through on, which is wild to me. Like, it is only the second week of January, and if I had followed all of those impulses, I already would have spent like $300 of just stuff, like random stuff. Like, we've been wanting my husband probably could care less. I have been wanting a new comforter for our bedroom, and we have a king size bed. So of course the king size comforters are the most expensive. And now this week, Target's having a sale on, bedding, 25% off. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to get this comforter now. It's on sale. But I don't need it. I don't need the comforter right now. We have a perfectly good comforter. We have perfectly good blankets. I don't need it. It would be nice, but honestly, we have 2 dogs and a toddler. Like, I don't need to spend $100 or even $75 on a new comforter right now. So that went on my list. And then anytime I see something online that I really want, but I don't click, I put that on the list. So I think that's going to be just one way to kind of have that outlet, and also to see my progress and like give myself a pat on the back. Like, hey, you wanted that thing really bad and you didn't get it. Like, good for you. And it's not taking up room in the house, and it's not something you're going to just throw away or donate in a couple months anyway when you declutter. So win-win-win. So that's my one big idea, like how I'm going to keep myself motivated and on track. And then the other piece is just coming up with a savings goal. Our bank account has just been like dwindling and lower and lower and lower over the last few months, especially with Christmas and just all the holiday activities going on. And so my goal is to set a realistic savings goal for each paycheck or each pay period and see that number grow. Like, move that money into our savings, get it out of the checking so it doesn't look like we have this extra money we can just endlessly spend, and just watch that bank account grow. So I'm really excited about that. And I think that's it. I'm obviously not a financial expert. Don't listen to me for advice, especially not today, where I'm at right now. My finances are a disaster. They could be worse, that is for sure. But yeah, don't listen to me. I'm sharing this just for my own whatever gratification for posterity, with the goal and the vision that we will see a lot of improvement over the next few months to a year. And my big goal is to have enough in our savings that we can easily, comfortably, without guilt, go on 2 trips every single year. One to visit with my family in California and one to visit with my husband's family in Mexico. Like, that would be amazing. My plan is to check in 1 week, let you know what happened with the budget, let you know what happened with my personal spending budget. And then after that, I think I'm gonna just check in once a month and give updates on how we're doing with not spending, not bringing in more clutter to the house, and building that savings account. So thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad you're here with me. And if you have any apps or tips or anything that you have had success with your finances, let me know in the comments below. If you are struggling as well, you can also let me know about that, and maybe we can do this journey together and see some success over time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.